those who suffer miscarriages are never taken into account.
Members of the National Assembly are also influence peddlers.
You are sitting on Nigerians' money.
From the Babin, I pay my land.
On Plus TV News now. Commuters groan as fuel scarcity hits day 2. FG calls for investigation. Reps call for state of emergency over ritual killings. IJC orders Uganda to pay $325 million to DRC in repatriation. Thanks for joining us on News Now. I am Maureen Meno Mwezigwe. The Federal Executive Council, FEC, has approved the grant of citizenship to 208 applicants for naturalization and 78 for registration by relevant government organs. The federal government says it has recruited 40,000 police officers in the past 4 years. This is in an effort to re-energize and improve the personnel of the force to tackle increasing security challenges in the country. President Muhammadu Buhari disclosed this in his remarks while declaring open a 2-day retreat for senior police officers in Uyo on Tuesday. Buhari was represented by the Minister of Police Affairs, Dr. Megari Danginyadi. He said the federal government also granted assent to the Nigerian Police Trust Fund Act and carried out an upward review of salaries and allowances of the rank and file. The House of Representatives on Wednesday, in its resolution, directed the National Film Video Censor Board and the National Orientation Agency to sit up to their responsibilities. This is in ensuring that movies and home videos released for viewership are thoroughly censored before release to the general public. This decision is coming following the motion on urgent national importance moved by Honorable Toby Okechukwu, Deputy Minority Leader. It was on the need to declare a state of emergency on abduction and killings for ritual purposes in the country. Honorable Okechukwu described the upsurge in these acts as alarming as it caused across every part of the country. According to the lawmaker, what is most worrisome is a confession by a culprit who was arrested for ritual murder that he learned the act from watching it in a Nigerian home movie.
Also alarmed by the moral decadence in our society trend that has promoted the get-rich-quick syndrome amongst our youths. The House is mindful of the role of the Nigerian movie industry in molding behavior patterns in our society vis-a-vis the mandate of the National Film and Video Censors Board as a clearinghouse for movies produced in our country. The House is cognizant that a lot needs to be done by the police and other law enforcement agencies to checkmate the ugly trend. The House is also mindful of the role of media as a tool to change this wrong narrative among our youths. The House therefore resolves to declare a national emergency on ritual killings in Nigeria, call on national orientation agencies, parents, heads of schools, religious leaders, and the media to undertake a campaign to change the negative narrative.
Troops of the Nigerian Army have neutralized 4 gunmen of IPOB and ESN at Ihiala town in Anambra. The Director, Army Public Relations, Brigadier General Onyema Nwachukwu, disclosed this in a statement on Wednesday in Abuja. Nwachukwu said troops received a distress call that the gunmen were out enforcing the illegally imposed sit-at-home order. They were firing sporadically in and around a filling station in Ihiala town. He said a firelight fight ensued between the dissidents and the gallant troops, leading to the killing of their leader, one Ejike, and 3 others. Some parts of Ibadan city in Oyo State on Wednesday witnessed unusual gridlock. This is due to the prevailing scarcity of fuel across the country. Commenting on the situation, commuters blamed major dealers in the petroleum industry across the state for hoarding their products, thereby creating unnecessary queues at various filling stations. Another motorist said he queued for about 30 minutes before he could get fuel in the town.
Well, it's a pity that our government is just giving us headache. That's us. Oh, they're just giving us unnecessary stress because the reason for this queue now is because of the news of the PMS with high sulfur content. That's why we are all on the queue. But yesterday we don't have this queue, but towards the evening we started having queues. I don't know. I don't know where they are leading us. Wherever they lead us, we go.
I don't even understand the cause of this scarcity. What I noticed was just like last night I tried to buy fuel. I went to about 5 or 6 filling stations. I could not get it. And this morning again, I've been going here and there to get fuel. I don't even understand. It's always been like this now. Every year there will always be fuel scarcity. I don't even know if there is any way forward for any situation in Nigeria again. I don't know.
The federal government, through the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, said on Wednesday that at least 6 vessels ordered by the NNPC Limited had arrived in the country. The CEO, NMDPRA, Farouk Ahmed, said the vessels came in with 300 million liters of petrol meant to close the gap created by the contaminated petrol withdrawn from depots and filling stations. The regulator had on Tuesday said the limited quantity of petrol with methanol quantities above Nigeria's specification was discovered in the supply chain. The Minister of State for Petroleum, Temipire Silva, has announced that there will be a major investigation to unravel the cause of the methanol in petrol imported into the country. He disclosed this on Wednesday during a media briefing after the Federal Executive Council meeting in the State House. Although the minister refused to disclose the identities of the companies involved, he said they will be made known after the investigations are concluded. Well, joining us now at this hour is Chinedu Okadike, PPRO IPMAN. Hello, Mr. Okadike.
Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. And for those who are in doubt, Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria is what IPMAN stands for. Now, first of all, bring us to speed. Bring us to speed as to the situation right now regarding this bad fuel situation.
Well, to be sincere and honest, I watched the news commentary and reaction of some of the promoters blaming independent marketers for this misfortune. It is very, very unfortunate that this kind of a thing will happen in this country. I also want to let you know the position of independent marketers as far as the distribution chain is concerned. We normally take our petroleum products from the inland depots and the PDOs of NNPC. And NNPC is a major supplier of PMS in this country. So we don't have any justification to hold petroleum products. Once the product is there, we are service-oriented. It is only business in Nigeria that government has regulated and has overseen. So in terms of bringing petroleum products, they have the DPR that do the P&Q inspection of cargoes that will be and buy these products as innocent buyers, and what we see in our filling station is this kind of a chaos.
Okay, so you said you buy from the NNPC. Are you saying that the NNPC should be held responsible for this? Because the first question one asks is, how did this get into the country? How did it come in?
Yeah, it is very, very clear, crystal clear, that the MD of NNPC has honored Mr. Farouk, has honored that the product that was found in some of our police stations and some various tank farms is imported by NNPC. And also the minister recently have also said that they are going to investigate to know how those products entered in. So the NNPC is the major importer of petroleum products because of the subsidy. So it is not based on independent marketers whose relatively constitute 90% of the value chain in terms of distribution of petroleum products in the loops and crannies of this country. We are not supposed to be held responsible. And we are profit-oriented. We want to do our business, we want to sell and make profits because we invested heavily to build some of these filling stations. So this thing is clear, the issue is clear, and NNPC have already taken up that responsibility, and federal government have also moved in to investigate via the minister to know how this is managed to come into this country. It is not the first time this kind of thing has happened. There was a time also ethanol was brought into this country, and they were able to, within a software, evacuate it back to the tank and blend it with the normal PMN. So it is not the responsibility of independent marketers to be able to account how the products come. We buy our products genuinely from private tank farm owners and inland depots of PPMs.
Okay, indeed, Farouk Ahmed, the president has ordered that he be queried. So that's one. And also he has come out today to let us know that 300 million liters of petrol meant to close the gap created by the contaminated petrol withdrawn from depots, have been brought into the country. There is still panic buying. When do we see a change now that we have this coming in?
This is a circulation system, and everybody wants to be on the move. All commuters want to be on the move. Nobody wants to be halted one way. So once there is a trick, there was little problem in terms of trying to close the gap. And that is why NNPC have gone further to ensure that they are bringing 3 more vessels to be able to flood the market with petroleum products. So within this period of time, definitely people will do panic buying, and that panic buying will bring in some ghost queues here and there. And it's not going to last, less than 1 week, all these things will be taken care of. And since Nigeria has been reassured that there will be enough sufficient fuel for users, they will relax. So it is not based on independent market. We are ready to sell for 8 hours. If provided security, will sell for 8 hours. We are business-oriented, and this is the only business government regulates its profit. Even when we have big money chasing few profits, we are still in business. We are not deterred.
Well, there is the issue, before we go, the issue of damaged vehicles, damaged generators, and all of that as a result of this bad fuel. Who is going to compensate Nigerians who have been affected? And I'm sure you, the marketers, are also looking for some sort of compensation. Tell us how this is going to work out and how it should play out.
Well, we are the last people that bear the brunt because we are the last chain of this distribution business. And that station managers that the police normally come to arrest, my vehicle is damaged and all the rest of them. But I also know that the national president of IPMAN, Ahmed, is on top of this matter to see how NNPC and the federal government will get some of these vehicles that is in our family. This product has gone far. It has slipped into the Nigerian market, and there is nothing we can do about it than to see how we can be able to turn off those filling stations because a monitoring team has been set up by IPMAN today to be able to ascertain the filling stations that are being affected and to make proper arrangement of logistics to be able to evacuate it, the safety checks and all the rest of them. Because PMX is a very high volatile product. Isolate that filling station. We also have a serious problem of brand. Most of our filling stations are trying to ensure that they have a very good brand and they're able to sell appropriate petroleum products to the customer. Now, some of these stations who have suffered these things are now suffering undue hardship because they will not have confidence in their customers and they will lose their customers. So I also appeal based on what the national president has done today, that to ensure that the federal government will have the synergy with independent marketers to be able to find out those places that this fuel has been let out of the use and vehicles that have been damaged to see how these vehicles can be repaired so that the independent marketers will not get the loss. Okay. Now, I'm also talking to you now. Most of these the products are in some of our tanks. Some of them have 6,000 liters, some of them have 15,000 liters. Nobody is talking about how will they be refunded. So it is what government should come and see, and we'll be able to come around so that fresh products will be given to those marketers so that those bad ones will be evacuated and they won't lose their capital. And also they will not lose their brand as marketer.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Chinedu Ukadike, PPRO IPMAN, for your time and insight. Well, in the wake of recent long queues at petrol stations, Nigerians react to panic buying of fuel. Well, that's on Street Views.
The government should please reduce fuel price, because it's really going to affect we that don't have a car, because we have to spend a lot of money and there's a lot of traffic on the road and so on. So the government should please look up to that as well.
The drivers are really increasing the price of the transportation, and it's really affecting us. So the government just really needs to do something about this, just to help the youth. Yeah, let me say the youth, because we are really suffering it. Yeah.
I tend to be emotional in the sense that we all know what is happening. You can't say a country is producing fuel and there is fuel scarcity. Why is it that fuel scarcity always come up when elections are drawing near?
The leaders should just make things easy for everybody to be able to fit in Nigeria. That's just what I gotta say. Because even without fuel, you still see that people still have fuel, but others will not have. You understand? So they should just balance the country.
It's actually having a kind of a very negative effect on us as an individual.
Honestly, I don't know the government policy concerning this fuel scarcity and why there should be scarcity when there's availability of it. And there's a hike in transport. So it's a heavy challenge for everyone. It touches around the whole sector, and it's been a challenge. But we are good. Nigeria are tough people, so they'll still cope. Initially from CMS to from stadium to CMS used to be 200, now it's 300. We just up it. The salary doesn't increase, there's nothing, but still we just have to do it. We're suffering and we're also smiling. That's what we are made up of.
If there is fuel, why queue now? If there is fuel, why queue? That's what we are hearing. I mean, you can hear me hearing my radio. And people are complaining. One guy said he's going to work this morning. He went to Awolowo Road. There's no fuel. He went to Mobi filling station at behind Body Camp. No fuel. He went to like almost 3 filling stations. No fuel. And he still go to now. What says that there's no fuel? Okay, where is the fuel? And you have all the old fuel. Why?
The Senate has confirmed the nominations of Namonso Ekanam and Mahmoud Abubakar Magaji as members of the Federal Judicial Service Commission. The nominees, who are from Akwa Ibom and Niger states, are to represent the South-South and the North-Central zone of the Commission respectively. The confirmation of both nominees followed the consideration of a report by the Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights and Legal Matters.
A toy off Airport Road.
Mr. President, the existence of a Pension Reform Act 2004, which is not amended as Pension Reform Act 2014, and the Act provides for a departure from the old pension scheme of defined benefits to a new contributory pension schemes, CPS. It also provides for a setup of National Pension Commission, PENCOM. The Pension Act, as amended, cannot be said to have achieved its objective of solving the intractable pension crisis. Suffice to say that the issue of pension in Nigeria has more or less turned a monster that has defied all effort by state government to contain it.
And to say that the plight and distress which retirees face in our nation has come to a point where it's as if it is a crime to serve one's nation, investing the better part of one's life, only to retire into hardship. Our savings under the contributory pension scheme is meant to be a saving for the rainy day for pensioners during their working days, their active life. The contradiction and irony, however, is that the unfortunate reality that retirees and pensioners face while their accumulated savings are feasted upon by corrupt officials requires that this bill should be given speedy consideration.
Retirees have no other means of survival simply because their savings account is just simply accumulated with the pension commission, which determines what they want to give them as a lump sum. That lump sum will not last 6 months, it's gone. And then the amount of money that they give them monthly is too small for them to survive up, because they have no voice in the amount of resources that comes to them at the monthly money that comes to them to take care of their families.
Most of these beneficiaries or pensioners don't have a clue. It is what the operators tell them they have as their contribution in their account. That's what they take. And overall, they now come again to define what you are going to get and what you are not going to get. And I think this is the misery that pensioners are suffering from. And I think, like the leader said, beyond the issues we are talking about here, by 2024, that will have been 20 years of implementation of this pension reform. I think it is time for us to begin to assess and evaluate the operation over these years and to see the ills or the successes with a view to coming up with another comprehensive reform that is people-friendly, that will help the retirees.
Youth and women in their numbers today took to the streets of Benin City, the Edo state capital. They were out to protest what they described as the continual refusal of the appropriate authority to inaugurate the Niger Delta Development Commission Board. The board was screened by the Senate on the 5th of November 2019. Protesting across major roads in the state as well as the Benin office of the Niger Delta Development Commission, they accused the Minister of Niger Delta Affairs of running a one-man show.
How long do NDDC remain in the hand of an individual without remembering that there's a Edo state, without remembering that Delta state, with all the 9 states are not represented any longer? It is that committee as it were. That as it were, we need to be inaugurated. Has every member of the states involved in this?
2 years ago, when Mr. President inaugurated the Northeast Development Commission, and that commission is well represented, and they are fortunate to the Amatali land. Niger Delta people, Edo State inclusive. Why is our own different?
The NDDC has 9 states, 9 good states. These states are not represented. They are deprived of representation in the NDDC board. Whereas other developmental commission, the Northeast Development Commission and the others are functioning without any form of hindrance.
A group under the auspices of the Higher Movement for Nigeria has asked Vice President Yemi Osinbajo to vie for president in the 2023 general elections. Mr. Ishaku Kello, convener of the Osinbajo for President, made the call at a rally on Wednesday in Bauchi. Kello said the group did not belong to any political party. However, they were working to ensure Osinbajo joins the presidential race. Kello described Osinbajo as a leader with a vision and mission that transcend tribal sentiments. Mr. Murtala Jalam, co-convener, said that Osinbajo is the kind of person Nigeria needs at the moment. The Forum Yoruba Stakeholders Summit Group in Lagos has said it is not the turn of the Southwest yet to run for president in 2023. During a press conference organized by the group, they stressed that their stand is in a bid to achieve fairness and equity within the nation. Jacinta Obiuku has more.
The quest for where or who becomes the president has been the topic of discussion for most Nigerians. This is especially as 2023 presidential elections draw closer. Some have argued that it does not matter who or where the president comes from as far as competence is concerned. But the Yoruba Stakeholders Summit Group believes there are thousands of competent persons in southern region. There's an aggregate tenures of president, vice president, senate president, and speaker, Federal House of Representatives.
We have observed with serious concern the open and silent demand and declaration by some politicians in the Southwest jostling to succeed President Muhammadu Buhari come 2023. Not only did we find this insensitive, but we also think it is self-serving and unjust. We are also of the strong opinion and conviction that some part of the southern Nigeria deserve the presidency more than the Southwest.
We need peace, okay? Give people sense of belonging. If I believe I have no stake in this pot of soup, I can as well throw stones inside. Or I break it from under. Or urinate inside. But if I believe I have a stake, no matter how poorly prepared, we guide the soup.
There are people from Yoruba race who are also aspiring. Fine. They are eminently qualified. But we are just saying that for equity, fair play, and justice.
They also appeal that politicians who are asking that zoning should be jettisoned should realize that they are trying to perpetuate injustice, which is against the unity of the country.
For us to move forward, we must be ready to embrace justice and let things be as it should be.
Should we, because people remain to it, keep quiet in the face of this obvious calamity waiting to befall us as a nation, as a people?
The question becomes, what has the South-South and the South-East had over time? The only thing they probably have had in this Fourth Republic is the presidency of a Goodluck Jonathan that was even short-lived.
There are different arguments and preferences who becomes the president. The ball is in the court of citizens to decide Nigerians' #1 public officer come 2023. Jacinta Obiuku for PlusTvAfrica.
The People's Democratic Party in Ogun State is set to mobilize over 650,000 members ahead of the 2023 general elections in the state. At the official launch of e-registration of members, the coordinator, Segun Adewale, said equipment are made available for agents to register members across the 236 wards as they expect a huge membership base.
The launch of this project has always been done all over different states in Nigeria. But today, Ogun State is launching the e-registration project. So we've been training and retraining and retraining. Today, what we have are qualified people who can use the app both on their laptops and both on their Android phone. We are going back to our various wards and we start registration. And our target for registration of members is 650,000 across Ogun State. And that is our winning formula.
Some of the party chieftains maintained that the party has approached a door-to-door step to canvass all eligible Nigerians to engage in the process in order to vote out the ruling party come 2023.
women form the bulk of people who vote, and we are out to capture them. And that is why the e-registration is so important to us, and we focus more on women and youths. And we have registered a lot of them. And we're going to continue. This is very, very important. This is going to gear the agents up more because they're the ones going around, and this will really uplift them and for them to concentrate more and to be able to do more than what they have been doing.
Continue to crank up the machinery of our party at the grassroots level such that we shall continue to mobilize at every polling booth, every unit, every ward, such that every Nigerian eligible to vote shall register and shall exercise their mandate and free Nigeria from this unwholesome governance.
The crisis in the PDP in Ekiti State over the recent governorship primary election is not abating. Biodun Olujimi and her supporters are considering the option of exiting the party in reaction to the outcome of the poll. Senator Biodun Olujimi, representing Ekiti South, aspired for the party's ticket during the last primaries but pulled out at the last minute. She alleged unfairness and maltreatment by the party. She has also alleged that the treatment meted out to her showed gender bias and disregard for her.
The thing that has not happened in our party is the ability to sit together and talk. Everybody wants to grab everything and ask people to tag along. That cannot work. We're no longer children. And we've been in this business too for quite some time. If it is a former governor that is sitting as a sitting senator, can you do what has happened to him? No. My gender has affected, and beyond that, the fact that people take everybody for granted has also affected all of us. You can't take people for granted. This is a business we came into voluntarily. And when you are in it, people are supposed to build consensus, not to talk down on others. A third force, some of them are asking for us to pull out, and we are saying that cannot be done in a hurry because tempers are high. We need them to calm down, to be able to talk, and then we can now mediate, and on Sunday we hold a big meeting.
Still ahead on Plus TV News now. France says 30 Islamist militants were killed in Mali joint operations. Details when we return.
Life can be fun and rewarding, but it also comes with some risks. As in business, you win some, you lose some. And that's why you need to be wise in the choices you make. It's like placing a bet. Again, you need to be wise. Wise in choosing an innovative platform with the highest market options and highest odds ever. That's why Winners Golden Bet, the leader in online, in-shop, virtual, and live sports betting, gives you enhanced platforms that offer you the best chances of winning. For betting on live soccer matches, live dog races, and virtual games. Winners Golden Bet is your best bet. Instant payment of winnings guaranteed. Play online or in any of our numerous shops nearest to you.
Hey guys, be wise. Play on Winners Golden Bet.
Winners Golden Bet, the wise choice.
$325 million in $11 billion Congo had asked for.
The court then sets out the total amount of compensation awarded to the DRC, which is $325 million, remain within the capacity